Chapter 5. The Price of a Dream. The day of the trip finally arrived. Before sunrise, Rick was already awake. He had barely slept during the night. Excitement, nervousness, and uncertainty filled his mind. His mother prepared a simple breakfast, while his father checked several times to make sure he had everything he needed. Meanwhile, James seemed even more excited than his brother. "When you become famous, don't forget this poor farm boy," he joked. Rick laughed. "I could never forget you. You were the first person who believed in me." The two brothers hugged each other. Without knowing it, that hug marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. A few hours later, they arrived in the city. Rick had never seen such tall buildings. The streets were crowded with people. Cars rushed past at high speed. Everything seemed to move much faster than in his small town. For a moment, he felt afraid. He felt small. But then he remembered his father's words. Humility will open doors that talent alone can never open. Those words gave him strength. When he arrived at the event venue, he was amazed. It was an elegant hall where business leaders and important guests were celebrating the success of their companies. Beautiful tables, bright lights, soft music. Everything looked like a scene from a movie. When it was finally time to step onto the stage, his legs began to shake. His heart was beating so hard that it felt like it would jump out of his chest. For a few seconds, he looked at the audience. Dozens of unfamiliar faces were watching him. Then he closed his eyes. He thought about his mother. He thought about his father. He thought about James. And he began to sing. The room became completely silent. Every word that came from his mouth seemed to touch something deep inside the people listening. Conversation stopped. Business leaders put down their phones. Some closed their eyes. Others smiled. A few even became emotional. When he finished the song, something happened that he would never forget. The entire room stood up. A standing ovation filled the hall. The applause seemed endless. Rick felt tears forming in his eyes, not because he felt famous, but because for the first time he understood that what he loved doing could touch other people's hearts. However, the biggest surprise was still waiting for him. After the event, an elegant man approached him. He was wearing a dark suit and carrying a small folder. "Are you Rick?" the man asked. "Yes, sir." "My name is Robert Mitchell. I work with a music company, helping discover new talent." Rick felt as if time had stopped. "I have worked with artists for more than 20 years, Robert continued, "and I have rarely heard a voice with as much potential as yours." Rick did not know what to say. "I would like to make you an offer." Those words made his heart race. "I want to help you become a professional singer." For a moment, Rick felt like he was dreaming. This was exactly what he had imagined for years. But then he heard the condition. "However, you would need to move to the city to begin your training. Vocal lessons, live performances, classes. Everything would start very soon." Rick's smile slowly faded. Moving to the city meant something much bigger. It meant leaving his parents, leaving James, leaving the home where he had grown up. For the first time, his dream had a price, and he was not sure he could pay it. That night, he returned to his town with a divided heart. On one side was the opportunity he had always hoped for. On the other side was his family. When he arrived home, everyone noticed that something was wrong. "How did it go?" James asked excitedly. Rick took a deep breath. It was amazing. Then he told them about the producer, about the offer, about the possibility of moving to the city. Silence filled the room. Finally, James spoke. "So, what are you going to do?" Rick looked down. "I don't know. James remained quiet for a few moments. Then he smiled. "Brother, all my life you have taught me to fight for my dreams. You can't give up now that your dream is standing right in front of you." Those words touched Rick deeply. "But I would have to leave all of you." "You're not leaving us," James replied. "You're opening a path for all of us." Tears began to roll down Rick's face. At that moment, he understood something important. The biggest dreams always require sacrifices, but they also have the power to change entire generations. That night, while looking once again at the stars through his bedroom window, Rick made his decision. He would accept the offer, not only for himself, not only for his dream, but for every sacrifice his parents had made, for every early morning spent working in the fields, for every simple meal shared together, and for the little brother who had never stopped believing in him.